With that, let's get down to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The excitement brewing here in South Florida as a moment ago. The Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. A first down throw for Fitzpatrick. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A look now at the Miami offense.
I remember when Laramie Tunsil was coming out of Mississippi and I was evaluating him for the draft in 2016. I ended up writing down a description that I tended to like, and I'm going to use it here now. He's got feet like a receiver. He's got a body like an offensive lineman and hands like a boxer. Put it all together, you got a heck of an offensive lineman.
From just shy of midfield, Fitzpatrick. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. That's something we didn't see much of from Allen the last couple of years in New England. Heck, last season, 13 games, only 4 targets. But Miami going to try to get him more involved in the passing game as we saw there. And you know he has the capability. You think back to 2012, breaking in with Indy. He had 45 catches that season. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. So here come the Eagles under fourth-year head coach Doug Peterson. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback Carson Wentz.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
That's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Down the man inside, down the man.
Throwing his Wentz. Left side here to Sanders. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure, and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Against the pass, just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
Once again here on 2nd and 10. Got a man. It's the rookie, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 49-yard line. They'll run with Sanders. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Tackle made there by Eric Rowe.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest game, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
In on the stop, Mason Foster, who was 7th in the NFL in tackles a year ago.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They go back to the ground with Sanders. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. An Eagle first down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
Here we go. Waiting.
Now a 2-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The numbers there for Howard a week ago. 18 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown. And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move. On 2nd down, it's Howard. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards there and a first down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? Five or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 and a good first step there with 2nd and goal coming up. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 2nd and goal. Wentz got a man open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his 9th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Don't forget, later tonight, Sunday Night Football, we've got the Pats and the Texans from NRG Stadium in Houston. And then tomorrow night, Monday Night Football, it's supposed to be really cold up in Seattle as we've got the Vikings and the Seahawks from CenturyLink Field at 8:15 Eastern. And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Fitzpatrick. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sanders. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Wentz going to throw. And this will be incomplete. Jerome Baker right there in coverage.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
We're good.
Now Wentz on third down. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Balaj. He'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Calling no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. They'll run here with Balaj, and they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Right now, I'm just wondering where they turn on offense, Charles. I know we're not in the 4th quarter, but 2nd quarter haven't scored and struggling to move the ball.
I don't think they abandoned the run game totally, but maybe you change up your tempos. Maybe you go a little bit faster, try and catch them back on their heels a little bit to try and accomplish what you want to get done.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Now Wentz. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. On 1st down, Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Let's bring it.
Out of the gun, this is Howard. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Wentz now to throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Akeem Spence in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. And, Charles, they only needed a yard there. They try to pass the football. What do you think?
Well, I can't really go all out and kill them for the call because that 3rd and 1 fake and throw it over the top for a big play, that often does work. But in this situation, the pressure got to him.
A first scoring update now from Carolina. And the Redskins there out to an early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Fitzpatrick now. And a quick throw here, that's complete. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Fitzpatrick, and Stills over the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. And this is complete. It's Allen. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Sanders' kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So we have reached half. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the 1st half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the 1st half.
See if they do just that. Now this one complete on the slant route. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And the 2nd wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the 2nd half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
You can't block me. You can't block me. 657. Rip.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down.
That's it, baby. We don't work.
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Brandon Graham make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. And they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4.
You got it. You got it.
Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Down the man inside. Down the man.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Jackson's got it over the middle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game, and he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. To throw is Wentz. This will be caught at about the 5. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Under 10. 74. Run. Check. Walk 54.
Again, it's Wentz. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage would be found.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Fitzpatrick. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, Be aware, ball may come your way.
On third and short, Drake. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Well, Kenyon Drake, he was kind of underutilized last year when Adam Gase was head coach, only 7 starts. But now he's going to get a chance under new head coach Brian Flores to really showcase his talent. He certainly flashed his diverse playmaking abilities a season ago. 9 touchdowns, 5 through the air, and 4 on the ground. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
It'll be a loss of a yard, and all of a sudden here, it's third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw is Fitzpatrick. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 31-yard line.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there that sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. On first down, Drake. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the 4th. From the 25 on second down, Fitzpatrick and Stills bringing it in. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And it's caught. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing now is Wentz. And that is incomplete. Jerome Baker right there in coverage.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Watch it. Check 15. Check 15.
And the blitz does come. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Looking to throw again on second down. Fitzpatrick, throw left side complete. That's Drake. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one, maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
They start on the ground here. It's Sanders. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back. Tell them to take care of it.
Now Howard stripped. He lost the football, and the Dolphins have got it.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5. Second and goal from the 1. On the toss play, this is Drake. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Kenyon Drake, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with an extra point. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you. Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. Once again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Now Wentz. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A third down gain of 19. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it. So it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Wentz. It's caught by Jackson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them. And they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Mika Fitzpatrick made the play defensively, the first-round pick out of Alabama. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Check out, kill, turn up.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
The Eagles on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Check out.
Another run with Sanders. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Now a timeout called for by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. The Eagles on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. Here it's 3rd and 2. Another run here with Sanders. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year. But he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20. Call it the 21-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking two plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easy.